Los Angeles Chargers, who I thought this was really funny. They tweeted out, all the teams tweet out like what their selections are. Obviously, they let everyone know. They do like a fancy graphic. The Los Angeles Chargers did a fancy graphic for drafting Khalil Mack with their second-round pick because they obviously sent their second-round pick to the Chicago Bears to acquire Khalil Mack. So they literally they grabbed an old image from Khalil Mack when he played for Kentucky, and they were like, with our second-round pick, we select Khalil Mack. And I was like, that is absolutely genius. Although you can't do that, that's not how it works.
Right.
It was absolutely genius. These
Yeah.
are the big three, though, for the Los Angeles Chargers, headlined by Zion Johnson. AJ, Zion Johnson was arguably the best pick in the first round. We talked about it on Friday's show, that this was one of the best picks right here. Why is Zion Johnson so perfect for the Los Angeles Chargers?
Yeah, we talked about him possibly going to like the Bucks or maybe even the Cowboys in the late 20s. And the Chargers were listening. They went and grabbed him at 17. They needed help on that offensive line. Not that it was horrible, but it definitely is going to help Justin Herbert do some of the things he does best, buying him time to sling that ball around. Zion Johnson is just a man amongst boys. Great hands, great leverage, understands the blocking schemes that he has to do. Wonderful in the pass off. I'm saying if he gets his hands on you and it's enough to stop it, he'll make sure his guy next to him is just as healthy as the other. He understands how this line works as a unit. Putting him in at guard, another guy who can play tackle if necessary. I don't think they're going to need him to do much of that. This was a pick that they needed, and in my opinion, it was a slam dunk. I had them slated to get Trevor Penn at 17. I thought he'd be a good fit on the other side of that tackle, but I mean, taking a guard, you can lock down one side of the line. And now Austin Eckler has some boys to run behind. Justin Herbert has some rollouts to get behind where he can throw to those tight ends the way he likes to do. Great pick. Zion Johnson, smart player out of Boston College. They're going to enjoy him a lot there. Back-to-back seasons, they get a really good offensive lineman in the team picks.
You mentioned he's going to be able to. Austin Eckler has him to run behind. Well, who else? Who is going to be able to run behind Zion Johnson? Their, fourth round pick? Yeah, their fourth round pick, Isaiah Spiller. This is a guy that I was very high on throughout this draft process. I thought he was up there with a Breece Hall, up there with a Kenneth Walker. I didn't have him on that level, but I easily thought he was the third best running back in the draft. He went later than the third best running back in the draft, and he's a perfect fit for the Los Angeles Chargers team. That you do have Josh Kelly, but that's it. You have Josh Kelly and you have Austin Eckler. And we know Austin Eckler has his injury concerns. And I'm not blaming or saying that Austin Eckler is bound to get hurt. But Isaiah Spiller is the type of running back that you could now give Isaiah Spiller the touches to be able to alleviate an Austin Eckler. And the biggest thing is I don't know if Josh Kelly will be I think Isaiah Spiller is going to be more efficient than Josh Kelly. So, like, in those situations when you have to take Austin Eckler off the field, you're going to be able to rely on Isaiah Spiller to be able to carry the ball and be effective with the ball to produce, whereas Josh Kelly, you just gave him the ball, you're like, okay. And I'm not saying Josh Kelly was a bad running back. He had a fine season, but but Isaiah Spiller is able to carry the rock, relieve some pressure off of Austin Eckler, and not to forget here, he's a great pass catcher. So you go from Austin Eckler, take him out. You're not losing it. Obviously, Austin Eckler's a better running back, a better player, but you're not losing the type of player. You're being able to replace that type of player with an Isaiah Spiller. I love that pick for the Los Angeles Chargers. AJ, what is your GPA for the Chargers?
The Chargers. My GPA was a 3.14. I really liked what these guys did all the way through, all the way down to their 6th round pick. I mean, JT Woods, you can say what you want, but they needed help in the safety, and this guy is a smart player on a good Baylor defense. But go all the way down to Jamari Slayer, another guard who was a big body, quick, fast, and heavy. I like what they did. They addressed needs all the way through their draft. And, again, the smaller grades come from those back ends. 3.14 stands about right with me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you gave Zion Johnson an A+, gave JT Woods an A, Isaiah Spiller an A. Really, I think the lowest grade, and we'll at the end of all of this, we will go over our overall Gs with the Sac City overall, the GPAs. I find it interesting, and I try to get Aaron's information on Otito Ogbonnia.
Ogbonnia.
Ogbonnia. He gave him a D for that draft. So I'm interested to see what he says maybe on a Wednesday.
Interesting. Because he
Yeah,
was all about him.
Yeah.
That was one of his
You guys
first players.
I think he was saying it's more because the players that were around that area that they thinks that they could have gotten. But my GPA is right there. It's a 2.57. I was a little bit lower on some of their picks. Really, it's the back end picks. I love that Isaiah Spiller pick. I honestly, looking at it now, I gave that Isaiah Spiller pick a B+.
Yeah,
I might go into the A's on that one. That'll bump up
I was
the
just
GPA,
looking. I was like, you was lower on him than me.
Yeah, and I like that pick a lot. And as I kind of talk myself into it, I'm like, okay, Isaiah Spiller could have easily gotten an A for the Chargers pick there because again, too, there were running backs that went before that. Let me just double check this, but I'm pretty sure there were running backs that went before Isaiah Spiller, other than a Breece Hall, other than a Kenneth Walker. And I'm like, wait a second, over Isaiah Spiller? Are we really doing this? Like, is this really happening right now? You see what running backs went before this. Let me see. Yeah, James Cook. I like James Cook a lot. I do. You guys know my love for James Cook, but I had Isaiah Spiller ahead of him. And let's see who else went ahead of him. Let's see here. I guess no other running back. So it was just Rachaad White. Rachaad White, the running back out of Arizona State, went to Tampa, and then Tyra. Yeah, there were a bunch of running backs that went ahead of him. Multiple, even Brian Robinson, the running back from Alabama, went ahead of him. That's not. That's a steal for the Los Angeles Chargers to be able to get Isaiah Spiller right there in the 4th round. Yeah, unbelievable.
Yeah, it was a good one. They forgot to. Some people slept on my guy and let the wrong team get him, and I'm very sad about it because now he's not going to look great going to that squad. But Pierre Strong Jr. going to the Patriots, ridiculous.
Gross. He went before. He didn't go before.
No,
he
didn't go
before Isaiah Spiller. Yeah, no. What a terrible draft for the. He did. He did right? Go. Let's see here. Isaiah Spiller went in the 4th round. Let's see here.
No, Pierre Strong went after him 4 picks later to the Patriots.
That's it.
Right after Isaiah Spiller. Zamir White, Damian Pierce were both 4th round running back mates. Went before Isaiah Spiller. Tyrion Davis Price from LSU went to the 49ers before him.
LSU loves those hyphenated running backs, Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Running backs.
Yeah, hyphenated running backs.
Wildness. Yeah. I would say 1, 2, 3. I would say 5 running backs should have went before Isaiah Spiller, and where 8 did instead. So, in my opinion.
So you had Isaiah Spiller that low on your rankings? Yeah.
Breece Hall. It's you could say it that way. It's just that I had other guys that high. Breece Hall, Kenneth Walker. I like James Cook ahead of him. Okay. I would have liked Pierre Strong ahead of him, but it didn't happen that way. He went just below it, and I think Damian Pierce should have gone ahead of him as well. Ooh. Damian Pierce was averaging like 5.4 yards a carry. He did a lot with a little bit, and he runs with a mean streak, low to the ground, can get through tackles. He's going to be a solid running back that not enough people were talking about, ourselves included, before this draft process.
Where'd he go?
He went to the Texans.
Hey, man, he has a shot to be number 1. He has a shot to be the RB1 there. He has a shot.